you may have a nagging doubt or fear around what is out there in the world, and you will probably need to seek some help from somebody that's professional in that space to enable you and guide you.
We've had an email through. I have come to realise that I'm only staying in my job for the relatively large salary. I'm not unhappy, but I don't enjoy it. I feel stuck. Any thoughts?
Make a decision. It's that simple. You have probably shifted your standard of living to level out at the amount of income that you're earning. That in itself may be a trap that you've created. You may not like to hear this, but for yourself. If you live in a 4 or 5 bed detached property and you have 2 or 3 holidays and all those kind of things, maybe downsize to a slightly smaller house and have less holidays, and that might mean you can do a different kind of role at a different level and have more connection or engagement with it, or you proactively need to go out into the market and find a job that will give you that connection to it again. But let's be clear, it's a decision that you need to make. Now, whether or not you feel motivated to do so, if you've kind of asked the question into myself, it's because you have a sense that it's not working for you. So, is it a slow death? If it is, do something about it. If it's just, you know what, it gives me the capacity to go and do great things in my life, I can do great work, and then it gives me an income to have freedom to do things that I wouldn't normally be able to afford to do, well then, that's a quid pro quo. The only time I think you absolutely need to move at relative pace to change things is if it is taking from you. If it's negative and it's making you, it becomes unhappy, or it's making those around you unhappy because of the environment, then do something about it. If you just have that nagging feeling that it's not quite right, well, get a coach, seek counsel, do some reflection, and you may not be in a situation where you need to move now, but have a stepping stone plan that says, I need to look out into the world and see what there might be out there. If you are used to doing that every couple, 2, 3, 4 years, it'll be a familiar space to move on. If you have been in the environment that you're in for some time, you may have a nagging doubt or fear around what is out there in the world, and you will probably need to seek some help from somebody that's professional in that space to enable you and guide you. If it's all about the money, and it's very difficult to get a job anywhere else that pays the salary that you're on, then you're going to have to look deep within to make a decision as to what you're about. So basically, there's quite a lot of reflection. There's quite a lot of routes that you can take, but ultimately you have to make a decision about the experience that you want to have in the medium to long term. So do the reflection, put the thinking in, and then act. And there are always consequences. You might do something that works out even better. You might do something that actually takes you down a road that you're not enjoying. Then you have to do something else. And that's the fear that we have. But if you're not going to do any of that, then you have to let it go. You literally have to let it go, because the reality is if you're not going to act, then you have to live with what you've got. So, hope it works out.